FBI agents raided the home of former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort late last month. His spokesperson says Manafort has consistently cooperated with law enforcement. And the FBI, while not denying that raid, declined to comment, as did the Office of the Special Counsel. Well, they say that they cannot comment on open investigations. I understand that. Let's do this in reverse order. Let's go back to the top of the story if we can. And this idea of sending notes through your counsel to the person who's looking into the investigation.
I think that the president has stopped his rhetoric of referring to the special counsel investigation as a witch hunt because his lawyers have persuaded him that that's counterproductive.
Why?
You are taunting FBI agents who have the power to make your life miserable. Don't do it. Let me, his lawyer, deal professionally with them. I will tell them you appreciate their work, and when they want documents, they will call me up and tell me what they want, and we'll give it to them. So that level of professional cooperation is what normally exists when the FBI is investigating someone in what we call white-collar crime, meaning crime without violence. But these two things are connected. The realization by Donald Trump that it would be better for him to cooperate than condemn the special counsel, and a pre-dawn FBI raid on the home of someone represented by competent counsel. To lawyers, it's very telling. When you want evidence from a drug dealer, you go to a federal judge at 3 in the morning and tell them there are the drugs. If we don't get it in the next half hour, they're gone.
Let me step in and slow you down for just a second, because if people are watching, they may not have seen the segue there, and I want it to make sense to the audience. So you've got separately now the president then doing what you say you should do, and that's smooth over the waters. You don't want to have to go after or appear to be going after the counsel.
Right.
Let your attorney do the job. Separate from that, though, we learned that, late last month, pre-dawn raid on Paul Manafort, who played a pivotal role back in the campaign days for then-candidate Donald Trump.
So the fact that Paul Manafort is represented by very competent counsel tells me that an FBI agent or team of agents went to a federal judge and persuaded the federal judge there is probable cause of crime in the place to be searched, his home, or the things to be seized, computer data and documents. And we don't trust him to give them to us, and we don't trust him to preserve them, or his own lawyer is telling us he can't control his client. That is very damning for Manafort and for the president. And it comes at the same time that the president is starting, I better take this more seriously.
And you know what? I think the president also understands the cost-benefit analysis. And if you say to him the political cost may be greater than whatever benefit you might gain from going after special counsel, although it may feel good at the time, although you may feel justified, and you may feel completely right in classifying it as a witch hunt, it could do so much damage to you personally that it's not worth the immediate political gain.
Listen, I have issued so many search warrants. When they come to you for a search warrant, they have to tell you they can't get this by any other means, and it is likely to be destroyed or removed, and we need this awesome power, literally breaking down a door of a white-collar person with guns at 5:30 in the morning. We need this awesome power, and we need it now. That tells me there is a there.
But the question, Judge, then is what exactly are they looking for? Is this simply into Paul Manafort's personal dealings, right? Maybe there's some financial fraud they're very concerned about.
It has nothing to do with the president.
Right. But that's where a lot of people are taking this, whether that's fair or not. Are they going to find some collusion when he was campaign manager?
No, what they are going to do is put pressure on the president's friends, right?
And we heard that, right? Didn't we hear that they were trying to turn Manafort and force him to go through some of the leaks?
They will indict Paul Manafort for something irrelevant to the campaign and the Russians, and then squeeze him for what he knows that they can use against the president.
I think that there's a big separation between what's happening in the investigation with Paul Manafort. He's been dirty dealing in Eastern Europe, in Ukraine, and Russia for a very long time. I'm not so sure that they'll even find a connection to the president. We'll have to use him as leverage because the White House has repeatedly said, Trump's counsel has repeatedly said, there's nothing there. I think that this raid absolutely has to do with Paul Manafort and his personal problems with the FBI. One thing I want to say real quickly on the Bob Mueller stuff, I think that Bob Mueller's a professional, and regardless of whether the president is praising him privately through an attorney or whether he's berating him publicly through Twitter, he's going to do his job. Let the facts follow them, or they
He's going to do his job, and he's going to justify his job.
And we are still getting plenty of leaks